This is hilarious. Donald Trump's historically unpopular VP pick, JD Vance, had an on-stage mishap at his rally in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today. And JD Vance spoke in Philadelphia with the goal of siphoning attention away from VP Harris and her new VP pick, Tim Walz, giving a speech. I'll cover that, but first, I want to break down some of JD Vance's most wild remarks. I want to break down his on-stage mishap, and then I want to compare him to Tim Walz. The vibes between these two candidates could not be more stark, and we live in a time when people vote based off of vibes. If people voted based off of policy, Hillary would have won in 2016, but right now people are looking for pure vibes, pure hope and excitement. So let's compare the vibes of these two. First, here is a clip of JD Vance saying, if you want to bring peace to the region of Ukraine, you need a negotiator who Putin respects. Let's watch.
And now we are where we are, and if you want to bring peace to that region, you need a negotiator who Vladimir Putin respects. Does anybody here, and obviously we're in a biased crowd, but does anybody here actually think that Vladimir Putin respects Kamala Harris?
He does, because VP Harris is experienced, she's a prosecutor, and she would be the president of the best damn country in the world. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is constantly talking about how we are a failing nation, how other countries are better than us, how the dictator in Venezuela has their country safer. He's always sucking up to Putin. Donald Trump would get taken advantage of so quickly.
She's afraid of all of you. She sure as hell isn't going to be able to sit in an audience with Vladimir Putin and push for a reasonable peace. So we've got to have a person who understands diplomacy, who understands that America does have negotiating leverage, that shuts off energy in places, or shuts off access to energy in places where you have bad guys running the energy policy, rebuilds the American...
Why is it so important to these people that Vladimir Putin has respect for them? They really want to be respected by Vladimir Putin, and that is what JD Vance opens this clip up with saying. We need a president who is respected by Vladimir Putin so he doesn't do anything. Vladimir Putin is inherently going to hate any US president because they are a Western leader who promotes liberal ideas, and Vladimir Putin fundamentally hates liberalism. That is why he and Donald Trump get along so well, because Donald Trump is also someone who is illiberal, who hates the liberalism of the West. Now, this article is hilarious, and it reads, JD Vance's backdrop makes it look like he's campaigning for Kamala, and this was going viral on social media. Now, JD Vance gave an entire rally for like an hour long where he was talking, and the entire time on Fox News, it said in the background just Kamala above his head. Nothing else, just Kamala. I don't even know what this word is beneath, but let's read this article. It says, well, that's confusing. JD Vance delivered a speech Tuesday in Pennsylvania with a backdrop that made it appear he was campaigning for his arch nemesis, Kamala Harris, and he might as well be. Every time JD Vance or Donald Trump says that Kamala Harris is responsible for Joe Biden's administration and his legislative accomplishments, they are campaigning for VP Harris. Every time JD Vance opens his mouth, he is campaigning for VP Harris. Leave a like if you agree. The unfortunate signage appeared to stem from the event's advance team not accounting for its crowd blocking half of the gigantic poster that sat directly behind Vance, which appeared to read in full, Kamala Chaos. I guess that is what it says, Kamala Chaos. For those watching on Fox News and other broadcasts, however, the only words clearly visible in white text on a blue background in all caps was simply Kamala. It's literally just like a Kamala campaign sign, to be honest. The apparent gaffe quickly went viral on X, as I said, where many joked that Harris's VP choice in Tim Walz had Trump's running mate JD Vance convinced that he needed to switch teams, and he probably should get out while he can. While the backdrop may have been confusing to someone watching Vance's speech on mute, the Ohio senator made clear in his statements that he's still no fan of the vice president he once suggested was a childless cat lady. Quote, Kamala Harris has been such a disastrous vice president of this country that everywhere she goes, chaos and uncertainty follow, he said, leading into what the backdrop said. And it's funny to me that Donald Trump said just last week at the National Association for Black Journalists that vice presidents really don't matter for electoral chances. They really don't matter when you're in the White House. But now, somehow, VP Harris is responsible for every single fault of the Biden administration. It is hilarious. It appears the Trump campaign may be attempting to link Harris to the word chaos in the same way Democrats, starting with Walz himself, began characterizing Trump, Vance, and the MAGA movement as weird. So they are now copying us and trying to link Democrats to one word, but the thing is, Donald Trump is the one that has brought chaos since the moment he stepped foot into the mainstream of American politics. WHYY, a local NPR station in Philadelphia, reported that Vance's rally had about 200 attendees, which included local Republican leadership from around Philadelphia. Fox 29 reported that Vance said he, quote, genuinely feels bad for Pennsylvania Josh Shapiro. Now, we watched some clips of JD Vance. I think we've given this weirdo enough attention. Let's watch the great Tim Walz.
Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy.
I can't wait either, y'all.
That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So
his comedic timing is
like
great. His comedic timing is so good. They posted this. It already has 30,000 likes in 30 minutes. One more clip from Tim Walz.
Some of us in here are old enough to remember. I see you down there. I see those old white guys. Some of us are old enough to remember.
Charisma.
When it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make. Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Can I just point out that it is time to reclaim the words freedom, the word patriot, or the word America. We love America. We are the real patriots. We need to reclaim the U.S. flag and show that liberals, that Democrats, we're the ones that want freedom. The two people up on the stage right here, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they want freedom more than JD Vance and Donald Trump. JD Vance and Donald Trump want to strip rights away from women in America, from minorities in America. Even white men who are Christians will have healthcare stripped away from them. They have something to lose as well. And I just want to point out one more thing. Governor Walz is the perfect representation of masculinity. Now, people like JD Vance and Donald Trump want to have you believe that they're masculine, but Donald Trump is the biggest whining crybaby I've ever met. And with JD Vance, a real man doesn't call women names behind their back, doesn't call women childless cat ladies, and constantly put other people down. A real man doesn't turn his back on where he grew up. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like my message, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.